Pike found himself sporting a dashing breathing mask, which incidentally made him look like a space age Bane. Now, see, I thought it looked like my CPAP machine, so.
I could see Bane in there.
Yeah, I mean,
I used to go around doing a Bane impression every Halloween over when I was in high school, so respect the game, you know.
Oh, yeah. It's, yeah, I mean, I could see it now that I was going to say now that somebody said it, but, you know, still no person has said it. Apparently ChatGPT just decided that's the case. Okay. Seated in Counselor Nira Catul's office, Pike's predicament wasn't as silent as a Vulcan meditation session. His oxygen supply, much like a tribble on a caffeine binge, plummeted to a mere 2%. Accompanied by an alarm. I don't know, man. Accompanied by an alarm beeping that would make a red alert seem like a lullaby. The secretary, with a flair for understatement, surmised that Pike might not have the patience of a Vulcan during a logic debate. Okay. So it's reaching a little bit here, but it's trying.
It's really trying to take a dig at the Vulcans there.
It really is, yeah. Pike, undaunted by the lack of oxygen, quipped, "Try me," as his life support ran out faster than a Ferengi chasing a Latinum bar down a gravity well. See, that one works. That one works.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a zinger.
Yeah. The secretary, in a heroic scramble to save the day, rushed to ensure Pike could breathe easy again. After all, even in space, the customer is always right. O'Toole, realizing she had an oxygen-deprived captain on her hands, adjusted the office's atmosphere and got down to business. Pike, perceptive as ever, knew that O'Toole and her people were Illyrians, a fact that wasn't exactly a well-kept secret. It turned out O'Toole had a bone to pick with the Federation's policies, probably bigger than a Gorn's appetite. Pike, channeling his inner Captain Kirk, admitted that Starfleet, and himself included, had been as wrong as a Ferengi haggling with a Vulcan about the price of a tribble. Oh, Chat GPT, you're turning out to be a one-trick pony here. You only got so many references. Yeah. Really,
he
then spun a yarn about it.
Dig into the barrel.
Yeah, it's really kind of hitting the same notes over and over again. He then spun a yarn about a mission to an allegedly abandoned Illyrian colony on Hediment 9, which turned out to be less abandoned than a holodeck at the height of the red alert.
I don't. I feel like maybe I'm not getting that one, or maybe it just kind of smashed some words together.
Yeah.
Is it saying that the holodeck is completely empty at the height of a red alert?
That's what I think.
Or is it saying that the holodeck is so full of people that it's less abandoned?
I think it's trying to say during a red alert there's nobody in the holodeck. I think.
Watch that one episode where Geordi was trying to figure out the engineering problems of the Enterprise when it was trapped by the ancient ship in the asteroid field. Name escapes me again.
Is that the fake Leah Brahms episode?
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh, that is so uncomfortable. That is so uncomfortable. Oh, you know, I'm not a big fan of Geordi episodes.
That one and the
usually.
Second one, too.
Oh, the second one's like horrible. The second one is just like...
Oh, man.
Yeah, I'm kind of like...
That's one of those ones that I gotta watch it in doses.
I kind of, as I'm watching that one, and I've only seen it a few times in the last 20 years, I'm sure, but every time I'm just like, how dare you try to excuse that away, Geordi? You need to admit you were wrong and just get on with your life.
Yeah, dude, don't try and sink on a ship, bro. Just own it and go.
Yep, because that was kind of gross, man. Oh, man. As O'Toole gently ushered Pike out of her office, he decided to try a different approach. He, in a moment of legal genius, inquired about her impressive track record. 10 cases against the Federation over 2 years, all overturned or dismissed for lack of evidence. It seemed like O'Toole had the Federation's legal playbook under her pillow. Huh?
I don't...
That one didn't.
I mean, I guess you put the Federation in there. I guess that kind of counts.
I mean, they got a reference in there, right? I mean, if that's all it's shooting for.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Ballpark.
Pike, having done more research than a Vulcan with an affinity for databases, do you even believe that her cases were as solid as a Klingon bat'leth? He made an impassioned plea for her to take Una's case, stating that if she won, her name would be known across half the quadrant. It would be a legal triumph that even the Borg would admire. I kind of want to ding them for continuity issues, you know?
Oh, man, they're just referencing that one Voyager episode where the Borg assimilated all of Matlock.
Oh, well, maybe it's a better reference than I realized. Cthulhu, ever the cautious counselor, questioned whether Pike was attempting a subtle Vulcan mind meld of bribery. Pike, with all the charm of a hollow novel protagonist, reassured her that he was merely trying to convince her and save an old friend. He handed over a case file suggesting that it would likely be as challenging as a Vulcan's attempt at stand-up comedy. What? No.
I don't...
He tells her she won't even break a sweat.
These are just getting out there.
Yeah, because he tells her she won't break a sweat. And Vulcans wouldn't be good at stand-up comedy. Cthulhu decided to grace Una with a visit in her cell, as if to say, I told you so, and a slightly more diplomatic, except that she actually tells her, I told you. No, she doesn't. She says, I'm surprised you didn't say, I told you so, huh?
Something akin to that.
Yeah. Una, understandably miffed that her long-lost friend's first words in 25 years were essentially, I told you so, expressed her determination not to play hide-and-seek with her true identity anymore. She was ready to stand up for herself and her people. Cthulhu, in her no-nonsense Illyrian fashion, suggested that Una's playtime was over and that she should accept her dismissal and head home. But Una, as resolute as a Vulcan with a stubborn computer problem, refused to back down. She believed that it was time for all Illyrians, to stop hiding. Cthulhu eventually made the call to inform opposing counsel that Una had rejected the plea deal. However, her parting words to Una were as revealing as a Romulan's poker face. She clarified she was doing it not just for Una, but for herself and all Illyrians who couldn't or wouldn't conceal their true selves just to join Starfleet. You know,